Hi, Charles. I have got all the questions here that you got incorrect on the second attempt on the quiz. And believe it or not, only 11, not even 11 people have written the quiz because most have done it twice now. So I don't really want to put all the answers out there. So I'm just going to set these up and show you how to solve them, but I'm not going to solve them for you. And then if you have further questions, you can let me know, okay? So for this one, if we're making a 4-digit number, what I like to do is actually draw the 4 slots for the numbers and then think about each slot individually. If the number has to be greater than 4,000, then there are only 1, 2, 3 numbers that can be chosen for the first slot, okay? Now, for the next slot, it doesn't matter what number we choose, but we have already used one number and we can't repeat that number, and so we have only 6 numbers left to choose from. And so you would go 6 times 3, and then down the line you're going to keep multiplying down, but you're going to have one number less each time in order to fill in that slot because of the fact that you've already used numbers in the previous slots, okay? So that's how I will start you off on these questions, but I won't solve them completely. Okay, for question 8, if you have 5 cards dealt from a deck of 52 cards, how many will contain 4 hearts? So, if we are receiving 5 cards from the deck, and we want 4 of those to be hearts, then those 4 hearts have to come from the 13 hearts that are in the deck. So we would have 13 choose 4. And then the other, oh dear, it won't write. The other card has to come from the remaining cards that are in the deck. So there's 39 cards remaining that are not hearts because we've already used those hearts for our 4 hearts, and we need one of those to be our 5th card. Okay, so again, I won't work that out for you, but that's how you would set it up. So at the bottom of the quiz, the last 4 questions, these were incorrect on your quiz on the second one, okay, and again, we're into the cards. We've got 5 cards dealt from 52. How many hands will contain no more than 2 face cards? So no more than 2 face cards means 0 face cards, 1 face card, or 2 face cards. And so for a question like this, you have to work out the 3 different possibilities and add those together. So if we have no face cards, then there are 12 face cards in a deck of 52. If we don't want any of those cards to be face cards, then for the first option for 0 face cards, we could only use 40 of our cards to choose our 5 cards from because we don't want to include any face cards. Okay, so when you're doing 1 face card, then you can follow suit, and what you're going to do is add up all 3 answers for your total, and that's the total number of ways, okay? Now for question 10, 5 cards are dealt from 52. How many will contain at least 2 hearts? So that one works the same way. There are 13 hearts rather than the 12 face cards, but you can follow this one in terms of steps exactly the same way that we did number 9. If it's at least 2 hearts, then we want to have 2 hearts or 3 hearts or 4 hearts. We can't have 5 hearts because there's only 4 in a deck, and so you need to work out the total number of ways to get 2 hearts or 3 hearts or 4 hearts, and then add those answers together, okay? Now, if a sports writer, for number 11, a sports writer makes his preseason picks for the top 10 teams. If there's 40 teams, how many different lists could there be? And so what's tripping people up on this question is that if I choose team A, B, C, D to be on the list of final teams, then that's the same as if I choose D, C, B, A. They're just in different order, but that's the same list. So we don't want to include the same list more than once. So a lot of people are using the P for this one, but in fact it is the C, right? We have 40 teams to choose from, and we want that to be 10 teams that we're choosing, and so that's the way to approach number 11. And then finally, number 12, we're making committees here, and what you're going to do is, because we're making senators and transportation committee, we're going to figure out the way of making those two committees, and we're going to multiply them together, and that's the total number of ways of making both committees, okay? So to start you off, in how many ways can a transportation committee of 15 senators be chosen from the 100 members? Then you have 100 and you're choosing 15. Now you're going to multiply that by the number of ways of getting your health committee, and you have, it doesn't say that they can't be on the same committee, like you can't have the same person on more than one committee, and so you're going to choose 10 people from the 100 for the health committee, and then you're going to multiply those answers together and give your answer in scientific notation. So I hope that helps you understand a little bit better how to do these questions. There is extensive practice on these questions, both in the Lesson 3 assignment and in the cumulative 1 to 3 assignment. And there's answers provided for all of those, and there's very, very similar questions to the ones that I put on the quiz here. Actually, some of them are right from those assignments. So if you want to go back and do some more practice on those, that's where you'll find more examples like this.